This is the drive home with TT for the Mill drive home. Driving home from the Den, where it finished. Millwall 0, Sheffield Wednesday also 0. I'll go straight into the starting lineup, where we had Archer in goal. And now, you know, I'm doing the scores out of 10 as well. Thought Archer had very, very little to do in the game, and what he did do looked very, very shaky whilst doing it. He had one save that looked good, but it was right at him. So Archer 5. Romeo thought done all right today, considering, in fact, I think 3 of our back 4 dealt with the pressure that Fletcher put on him quite well. But Romeo, I think, was 7, maybe 7/8, because I think probably he was one of our better players, if not the best player. Cooper and Hutchinson, I think, were both solid at the back. Defending, outlet, and the amount of times they give the ball away. But they're there to defend, and I think both of them got a 7 for that reason. We had Murray Wallace at left back. I think he looked again. I think he looked shaky again today. So 6 for Murray Wallace. Although again, it's a clean sheet in the Championship. Although Sheffield Wednesday offered us nothing. Right midfield was Jed Wallace. Jed Wallace tried today a lot of stuff. You know, he's one of these players where he gives you everything, and he did try, but nothing really came off for him. Most of the time it flicked to somebody else. You can't fault his endeavour and his want to have the ball and run at players, because that's what we need in the side. So I'd give Jed a 7. In the centre of the park we had Williams and Leonard. And I think today that's where we struggled. We just did not hold on to the ball. For about 10 minutes at the end of the first half, we looked like we could play the ball on the floor and drive at them, because they didn't have any pace at the back, and we looked like if we just run at their defence, they were struggling to cope with it. And we created a few chances at the end of the first half by doing that. I thought he was going to come at me there. So for the rest of the game, we just give the ball away so often, and just continually. Williams especially. Personally, I don't think Leonard was as bad. You know, there's mixed reviews about Leonard, but I thought he broke up the play well. He put himself about, but his distribution was awful. Both of them I can give no more than a 5. I just can't see how anyone could justify giving either one of them more than 5 out of 10. On the left, we had Ben Marshall. For about 15 minutes in the second half, seemed to have a bit of passion, a bit of desire. The rest of the game, I thought it was pretty anonymous, to be honest. And I don't know, Fergie must be sitting on the bench thinking, how am I not in this side? So Ben Marshall also give a 5. And up front we have Aidan O'Brien and Lee Gregory. You know, Aidan gets a bit of stick, but every time the ball went up to him, he tried to bring the ball down. He tried to link the play. He's not a big striker, so our continual lump it forwards to the strikers isn't going to work with players like Aidan O'Brien. And he did struggle. He created on his own probably the best chance, where he's taken it out, and he's had a good shot on target that was well saved. And then you've got Lee, and so I'd give Aidan. I'll give him a 6. Because of the chance he's created and the fact he's tried to hold the ball up. And with him you had Lee Gregory, who, again, no real chances created from Lee, no real efforts on goal, but he does work hard, he does put himself about, he does try and get us in the game, and he does try, and his endeavours there. It's just there seems to be no chances created for him. And as a striker, if you're playing up front, you need the ball in the box to do what you do, and he's not getting that enough. You know, the last time I remember him having chances constantly in and around the box was Ipswich at home, where he's hit 2 in from about 6 yards out. But he's not getting chances. Strikers don't get chances, he's not going to score goals. That's how we started the game. Obviously, then we have the subs come on, the same sub every single time. And I do want to say, I don't, and no other Millwall fan wants any Millwall player to do badly. We want them all to achieve. We want every single player to go out there and play with pride and passion and do well. No one wants to see us do badly, but Morrow's come on again. You know, he has put himself about. But there was no real quality to Morrison's play today. He had a glorious chance. It's not an easy chance, but you want him to get it on target, and he's hit it wide. So, like I said, he's not really impacted the game for me enough. So Morrison's a 4 or 5. And then, obviously, Ferguson's come on, has not really got in the game. It's too late for a substitution for Fergie to really make any difference. So I can't give him any more than a 4. We've got Fred Onyedinma who comes on. And we've been crying for pace. And I know that Fred does have pace. And I want any player wearing a Millwall shirt to do well. But for me, Fred he has no confidence playing in a Millwall shirt, and it bounces back. Oh, I say he has no confidence. He has one chance where he's knocked the player off the ball fairly. It was never a foul, although the ref looked desperate. He was unsure, and I'll move to that in a minute. It looked like he was going to give a foul, but he didn't. And Fred's running in on goal, and anybody's there. If anyone wants to sum up how we're playing at the moment, that was it, because he's done four step overs, and then he stepped over himself, absolutely dummied himself. The ball's gone elsewhere, and it's petered out to nothing. And you just look at it and you think, if anything summed up how we're playing at the moment, that was it. I'll move on to what is the biggest problem at the moment. We are not creating enough chances. If you don't create chances, you're not going to score goals. That's five home games in the league. We scored twice, and we haven't been playing the best teams in the Championship either. That's against Sheffield Wednesday. That's against that's against Rotherham, teams that are down there with us. Back-to-back home games. Well, 3 home games in a row without a home goal. That you can't. Well, obviously you're not going to win games if you don't score goals, but you're not good. We're not creating any chances either. We're having 2 or 3 chances per game, and we're fully reliant upon a set piece. We're not creating nearly anything from open play. And if you don't do that, you're not gonna win games at any level of football. I felt like we've just got to put the ball on. We lose the ball too easily. We just give as soon as it comes back, it's lumped forward. You know, it's going to sound silly, but my under-7s last year, we played very direct football. You know what? My keeper went long. We was learning how to play football, so I didn't want my players to be under pressure. So we played really long. And in this season, we've become accustomed to it. And I thought, do you know what I want to do? I want us to play out from the back and play football and move the ball around. It doesn't matter what level of footballer you are. If you play long ball football and you haven't got someone up front that can hold the ball up, you're going to keep losing possession. And that's what we do time and time again. We have to change it up. We looked decent when we had the ball on the floor, and we ran at Sheffield Wednesday. Because mark my words, Sheffield Wednesday had no quality whatsoever. They had nothing, but equally we had nothing. You can't have this many home games. Like I said, we've scored 2 goals in 5. 2 of those, luckily enough, we won 1-0. But since those 2 home wins over Christmas, we've created so little. My man in the match today was Marlon Romeo. I thought he tried his nuts off. I felt that he got us out of trouble a few times at the back with his pace. He give the ball away cheaply, and he does that occasionally, but I felt like he played really well today. So Marlon Romeo is my man in the match. We'll move on to Tim Robinson in ref watch. Give us nothing today. Again, you know, they're time wasting right from the first minute. The keeper's doing it all the time. He gives 1 minute injury time in the first half, and then 4 minutes injury time in the second half. Well, we know how much injury time we've had at the Den when we've been leading. It's a joke. It's a disgrace. It's not the reason we've lost, because I think actually if we'd have had 10 minutes of injury time, we still wouldn't have scored today. So, you know, it's just difficult. Every ball that went in the box when we were attacking, there was a defensive foul. They seemed to get a foul for pushes and we didn't. It's frustrating, but I don't think it's made any difference to the scoreline today. It's just allowed them to waste time, and it doesn't. When we go away from home, you know, we're constantly asked to keep playing. We're asked to speed up right from the first minute, you know, and I hate that inconsistency. We move forward now, obviously, to a welcome distraction in the FA Cup because, you know, Wimbledon will be fancying their chances. I felt the game today was crying out for Ben Thompson to come on and just... He likes having the ball at his feet and running at players, and he's not going to be there, obviously, on Saturday. We've got no Ben Marshall, so obviously Ferguson will be back in, I hope, and that's a good thing. But for me, it didn't seem to make sense. The players that are not going to be available for Saturday didn't play today, and I just, with Thompson, and obviously Fred came on late. I don't know what's going to happen next week, but we have to start picking up points. We've got tough games in the Championship coming up. Derby away, Derby away. And I'm worried, you know. I'm seriously worried that things are going in the wrong direction. We're not creating chances, and then when we are creating chances, we're not taking them. The only saving grace is that we are doing well at the back. Our back four, other than potentially a little bit Murray Wallace today, was solid. They didn't allow Sheffield Wednesday really any chances, although they didn't create much. The man of the match today, by a long shot, not the Millwall man of the match, but was Barry Bannon. We need someone like him in our side that creates, you know, has time on the ball, that can drive with it when necessary, and maybe Ben Thompson's that player. I feel really harsh for Tunnicliffe. You know, I personally at the moment is calling for Tunnicliffe and Thompson to start in the midfield. I'm not the manager. I still back Neil Harris no matter what happens. I still feel like he's the man for the job because he understands what we need. It's just not going our way at the moment, and we need to break it. We need to break out and start playing some football, because if we don't, we're only going one way. You know, Bolton got 3 points today. Rotherham picked up a draw. That's teams around us getting points. It's tough, and that's another game and another bad performance. No other way of putting it. Zach, who's your man of the match? Don't really know. There you go. Not a great day to be a Millwall fan today. No atmosphere, no chances, no goals, and 1 point. On to Wimbledon on Saturday for the FA Cup. Come on, you Lions.